Hey everyone, this is Danny the Dork Knight coming back with my predictions for night 2 of SummerSlam 2025. Before I get into my predictions for night 2, let's talk about how terribly I did with my predictions for night 1. The night started out great. My predictions for the first two matches were spot on, but I got all of my other predictions wrong, which is fine. However, I kind of got the main event prediction somewhat kind of right. Seth Rollins did cash in, but not in the manner in which I thought, and he ended up winning. It's kind of bittersweet because I really wanted CM Punk to win. I'm a big time CM Punk fan, and yeah, it looks like him and Seth are just going to be in a forever feud. Don't know how I feel about that, but I talked about it last night on the Joe Cronin show. You can check that out. I've got the link on my Twitter feed. But for now, let's get into the predictions for night 2. Again, the only match order I know is I know what match is going to open the show, and I know what match is going to close the show. So the opening match is going to be the Women's World Championship triple threat match between champion Naomi and Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. And then the main event match is going to be the WWE Undisputed Championship street fight between the champion John Cena and one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. In between those, and in no particular order, we have the Intercontinental title match, which is one of the few matches without a stipulation between the champion Dirty Dominic Mysterio and the phenomenal AJ Styles. The next match is the U.S. title match, which is a steel cage match between champion Solo Sikoa and the Samoan werewolf Jacob Fatu. The next match I'll be predicting is the Women's Intercontinental Championship match between Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria. If Becky Lynch wins, Lyra Valkyria can never challenge for the title again so long as Becky is the champ. So I know there's some type of stipulation. I don't know if it's falls count anywhere, just no holds barred. But yeah. The other match is one I'm actually really looking forward to, just because it's going to be sick. And no pun intended, because the champions are the Wyatt Six, but it's the WWE Tag Team Championship Six-Pack TLC match, which is going to be crazy because there's 12 men in a TLC ladder match for the tag titles. So you've got the champs, the Wyatt Six, Fraxiom, DIY, Motor City Machine Guns, Andrade, and Ray Fenix, which is kind of weird, a random pairing, and then of course the Street Profits. So let's get into these. Let's get into the predictions. We'll start with the match that will open the night, the Women's World Championship triple threat match, and I honestly think Naomi's going to win. I don't see how she doesn't. She just got the title. It'd be ridiculous to take it off her this fast. I think Rhea and Io have just been too. See, they're playing too nice. It's ridiculous. It's just, Rhea's never beat Io, but they're nice friends. Io's all tongue in cheek, haha, blah blah blah. They're never gonna settle that unless it's a one on one. I think something's gotta give. Naomi's gonna win. Maybe this is gonna lead to a Rhea Ripley heel turn. I have no idea, but we need to get Rhea versus Io. The title really doesn't have to be involved for that. We need a definitive winner, and we need to push on. We need to move away from that. So whoever comes out the definitive winner, which should be Rhea Ripley, can then go have a proper run against whatever champion. Honestly, I'd like to see Rhea do a heel turn. Clash in Paris. Naomi loses to Stephanie Vaquer. We have a heel Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky at Paris. Rhea dominates to become number one contender, and then we can have a dream match with Stephanie Vaquer versus Rhea Ripley, which Stephanie would win to help solidify her superstar status. Rhea's going to be fine. Now, I know I kind of got into some fantasy booking and just definitely beyond SummerSlam, but hey, that's what us wrestling nerds do. So, but yeah, end of match 1, and still your women's world champion on Raw is Naomi. Okay, so the next match I'm going to give my prediction for is Dirty Dominic Mysterio, your Intercontinental Champion, versus AJ Styles. You know, it's not been a good weekend for the Judgment Day so far. The girls lost their World Tag Championships, and I think Dom's going to lose too. I think AJ Styles goes over, but Dominic's going to be okay. He's going to go on to win the AAA championship, I think. He's hella over at AAA. He's been getting big pops. And even though he's been getting some pops, like the one he got at WrestleMania, kind of getting a babyface reception, I think against AJ Styles, I'm looking forward to seeing how he's received in Philly, or not Philly, sorry, in Jersey at SummerSlam. Because I think AJ is going to be the clear babyface. And I think AJ Styles is going to go over. Not really much more to say about that. It's just going to continue a bad weekend for the Judgment Day. The next match I'm going to go over is the Steel Cage U.S. title match. Champion Solo Sikoa versus Jacob Fatu. Jacob's super over, but I don't think we're ready to take the title off of Solo yet. I think that I think the money's in the chase. I think that Solo's going to win. I think we're going to get the return of Tama Tonga. I believe he's the one that's out. I think we're going to get some a la Kane from Hell in a Cell. Maybe he'll come out, his tall ass will rip the door off. The Gorillas of Destiny will come wreck shop. I just think there's going to be a lot of shenanigans, even though it's a steel cage and it's supposed to keep people out and blah, blah, blah. I think we're just going to keep building up this Bloodline 2, or no, what are they called? The MFTs? Whatever they're calling them now. I think they're going to keep trying to build that faction as a new monster faction, and Solo is going to win that match. So my prediction for the U.S. title match, champ Solo Sikoa. All right, so the next match is the Women's Intercontinental no holds barred, falls count anywhere. Again, not quite sure. Bottom line is, I think that Becky Lynch is going to win. I think Bayley's going to get involved. We're going to have a heel turn from Bayley. It's going to cost Lyra the championship. And Bayley and Lyra can kind of feud. She can continue to get the rub from all these great stars. Becky Lynch can go on to be the man. Her and her husband, will be champs. Which I wouldn't mind seeing. I know they've said in the past they don't want to do it, but they're both heels. They ought to, whatever. I mean, it is what it is. Fantasy, booking aside with that, I think that Becky Lynch is going to win, and it's time to give some other women a little taste. Keep Lyra Valkyria busy with Bayley, and let Becky Lynch help elevate some other talent and help elevate that title further. So I think I see Becky Lynch retaining in that match. Quickly now over to the Six-Pack TLC match. Dudes, I have no idea who's going to win. I just know it's going to be a freaking awesome match. I cannot wait to see what kind of crazy shit goes on during this match. I mean, I'd love to see the Street Profits win. I love me some Street Profits. I want all the damn smoke. Bring the smoke. But I don't know, man. It's such a on one hand, Andrade and Rey Fenix are new. They're trying to give them a push. And I don't know. DIY just doesn't do it for me at all. They really don't. Fraxiom doesn't do it for me at all. Motor City Machine Guns, I mean, just really none of these teams do it for me except the Street Profits, which is probably why they're not going to win, because they are who I want to win. And if you saw my predictions yesterday, usually if I want you to win, you're going to lose. So more than likely, the Wyatt Six are probably going to retain. It's crazy. I mean, so my heart's with the Street Profits. My money's on the champs. So I think the Wyatt Six are going to retain. But it's going to be a sick, sick match. If this match doesn't steal the show, they're not doing something right. And that takes us into the main event of SummerSlam Night 2. That is the WWE Undisputed Championship street fight between the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes and your champion, John Cena. Now, okay, John Cena did this big babyface turn that felt very contrived, very sudden, very out of nowhere, and quite frankly, I think was just nothing but a bunch of bullshit. This was on Friday Night SmackDown. It opens the show, and Cody's just smiling like an idiot. Doesn't say a word except, "Welcome back, John Cena." Get some beers. They swig some beers. Cody leaves. The champ is here, posing, blah, blah, blah. Drops a couple funny lines. Look, John Cena's full of shit. This version of John Cena, this character, not John Cena the man, John Cena the character, is completely full of shit. And I hate what they're doing because they're just going to make Cody look stupid again. Because this whole match, they're going to go the whole match. It's going to be a big fight. Probably be all over the place. And then you're going to think, oh, it's, John Cena's back. And then here's where I'm going out on a limb with this prediction. It's going to get crazy. The Rock shows up. They beat the shit out of Cody Rhodes. I wouldn't even put it past WWE to be falsely leaking all this Travis Scott stuff, changing the Travis Scott skin on the WWE 2K25 supposed WrestleMania pack he was supposed to be part of, getting replaced by El Grande Americano. I wouldn't be surprised if all of this was just like a worked shoot type of thing, like where they're WWE is just really evolving with the times. If you watch Unreal, the documentary series that just dropped right before Friday Night SmackDown, to me it makes it even more obvious that John Cena, the character, is completely full of shit, because they're expecting people to have watched that documentary, to have seen the episode that was completely dedicated to the heel turn. And they don't, they put Travis Scott over in that like $1 million, by the way. Yet all the internet chatter is that he's had a falling out with WWE. They're going separate ways. First of all, he's like one of Ari Emanuel's clients. There's no fallout. This all bullshit. So especially because John Cena brought up the situation at WrestleMania, his friends that have abandoned him, aka The Rock, on Travis, and then he brings up the only platinum rapper that's going to show up to kick your ass is me. I'm going to say I feel very certain The Rock's going to be there. I'm almost as certain Travis Scott's going to show up. And I think as much as I want Cody Rhodes to win, and I would have, before watching SmackDown, predicted Cody Rhodes to win, I think John Cena is swerving us all. And I think they're going to want to top the Seth Rollins BS that happened last night with shock value. And yeah, I think Cena's going to win with the help of The Rock, at least The Rock, quite possibly The Rock, and Travis Scott. So there you go. Those are my predictions for SummerSlam 2025 Night 2. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Please like, share, subscribe. On the road to 500 subscribers. Just now getting back to doing videos again after taking a year off to get my personal life in order. What are your predictions for SummerSlam Night 2? Let me know in the comments section below. Do you agree with what I've said? Do you think I'm an idiot? Do you want to discuss some of this fantasy booking I've done that will take place further down the road? I'd love to talk to you guys, and maybe I'll come back later tonight after the show is over, but the pre-show is underway. I'm just less than a few hours away from the beginning of the show proper. Then there's going to be the post-show, and then I'll possibly hop on after that. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Dork Night out.